Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Parsons Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's MIAA Division I State Tournament preliminary round matchup here between the high school varsity boys soccer teams. First, the visitors, the 40th seeded Bulldogs of Lynn English High School, and then the hosting 25th seeded Brookline High Warriors. Well, the regular season is finally over, and here we are in the playoffs. These two teams fighting for a chance to go to the round of 32, where waiting for them will be 8th seeded St. John's. Bit of an ironic twist, as 2 years ago, the last time Brookline found themselves in the preliminary round, after winning that one over, I believe, Medford, I think it was, they went on to face then second-seeded St. John's in the round of 32. So could this be perhaps a fated reunion between Brookline and St. John's should the Warriors get the win today? We shall see. Lynn English, having earned their spot in the tournament off an above 500 record at 7-5-4. Brookline off a strong strength of schedule, despite a rough 4-8-6 win-loss record. Brookline finished very strong in the last week of the season, went 2-0-1 over the last 3 games in the last week of the regular season, including a tie against rival Newton North and 2 upset wins over local rivals Framingham and Needham that allowed Brookline to jump up 11 spots in the power rankings from 36th to 25th and earn their spot in the tourney. Brookline, these past few years, has had a tendency to finish strong at the end of the regular season, but we'll see how well that momentum can carry over to the postseason. From Parsons Field, it's Warriors versus Bulldogs here in the MIAA Division I State Tournament. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Soccer. The kick. Scores! Wally Lawrence! Grady Ames, potential breakaway. Ames, shot, score! Goldberg kicks, coming in high, header, score! Jonah Lippman ties it up! All right, the PA announcer will soon be taking over for pregame ceremonies. Once again, Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan live here at Parsons Field in Brookline, Massachusetts for this MIAA Division I Boys Soccer State Tournament preliminary round matchup between 25th seeded Brookline and 40th seeded Lynn English. And remember, these live streams are unlisted, meaning that folks need to have the exact link to watch it. So if you know of anyone that might be interested in watching, be sure to send them the link to this video.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Parsons Field for this preliminary round of the MIAA soccer championships between the visiting Lynn English Bulldogs and your Brookline Warriors. Participating student athletes, coaches, and contest officials have worked diligently to prepare for today's competition. Please show your appreciation by demonstrating good sportsmanship and respect for all in attendance. Ensure that your behaviors reflect the values that should be identified with these student athletes. Assume responsibility for your behavior and the behavior of those around you. If you require assistance, please call upon an MIAA school or security official. And now the starting lineups for the visiting Lynn English Bulldogs, who are coached by Valdrin Jamali, assisted by Kenneth Mills. Senior captain number 5, Darwin Flores. Senior captain number 6, Ahmed Abdurrahman. Senior captain number 14, Alfredo Lopez. Senior number 9, Einer Ariel. Junior number 11, Jose Licardi. Junior number 10, Matthew Colo. Junior number 18, Woodson Pierre. Junior number 17, Eric Zapata. Junior number 8, Jamel David. Junior number 15, Jean Jabron. And tending net for the Bulldogs is Alejandro Zayas, junior number 1. And now the starting lineups for your Brookline Warriors. The Warriors are coached by Kyle Bolio Jones, assisted by Adam Orlando, Mike Normett, and Thomas James. Number 4, senior captain Jack Fitzgerald. Senior captain number 17, Grady Ames. Senior captain number 22, Nate Lockwood. Junior number 7, Jacob Friedman. Senior number 8, Ben Spicer. Junior number 11, Koya Nicoli. Junior number 12, Ryan Goldberg. Junior number 19, Travis Applebaum. Junior number 24, Wally Lawrence. Junior number 25, Jonah Lippman. And tending the net for the Warriors tonight is junior number 9, Alec Schmagula. Our great nation has persevered through the leadership and sacrifices of men and women who have served or are currently serving in our armed forces. We invite both veterans and current military personnel to stand. We thank you for your service to our country. Now we invite all to stand and direct your attention to the scoreboard for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, those were our starting lineups and national anthem, and we'll soon be getting this ball game started. I mentioned before all the pregame stuff how Brookline managed to finish out the season strong, going 2-0-1 the last week of the season to jump up 11 spots in the power rankings and earn themselves a spot here in the dance. For Lynn English, theirs was also a strong finish, but really just a strong second half of the season. The Bulldogs start out the season 0-5-2. That's right, winless through their first 7 games, 5 losses, 2 draws, and then went an unbeaten 7-0-2, 7 wins, no losses, 2 draws through the last 9 games of their regular season to earn themselves a winning record, which, regardless of power ranking, earns them a spot here in the tournament. So 2 teams that have found their rhythm late in this season. We'll see who can carry over the momentum into this one here in the playoffs. For Lynn English, manning the spot between the pipes today will be a junior, number 1, Alejandro Zayas. For Brookline, it'll be their starter, junior goalie, number 99, Alex Magula, between the pipes. As you see the Warriors taking the field, they'll be playing from our left in dark blue jerseys with white jersey numbers. The Bulldogs of Lynn English in white jerseys with red jersey numbers. And just a quick note, fans, my apologies if I sound any different today or anything like that. I am a little under the weather right now, dealing with cold or flu-like symptoms at the moment, but I'm okay enough to give you coverage of today's game, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. 40 minutes on the clock for the first half of this Division I state tournament preliminary round contest. Lynn English gets us started. Number 11, Jose Licardi, sends the opening pass back, and they quickly kick it across midfield. Brookline kicks it right back, but it's ultimately corralled by the Bulldogs. Number 15, Jean Jabron Yasi, brings it up the near side, but runs out of room, but does get the favorable deflection, and that's going to draw the game's first corner kick. Going to be a bit hard for me to see, but I think you guys can still see from the camera angle that I've got. Comes in, headed down and out the back line by the Brookline defense. That's going to draw another corner kick right away. Excuse me. This one flies in and just over the outstretched head of, I think that was number 8, Jamel David, who was trying to go up for that ball, but the ball too high, and it bounces out of bounds. It'll now be a Brookline goal kick. Smagula gives it over to Travis Applebaum, who boots it upfield, blocked down by Licardi. Licardi sends it out to the far side. Number 18, Woodson Pierre, now passes it back for number 14, who sends a quick crosser in, blocked down by Applebaum. Kept in play by Yasi, but now knocked loose by Ryan Goldberg, and Brookline corrals the ball. Wally Lawrence sends one up the near side, and it's deflected away from a streaking Grady Ames by, I think, number 6, Ahmed Abdulrahman. Throw in coming from Lawrence. Goes to number 4, Jack Fitzgerald, who takes a hit in the back, but no call. He stays with the play, and it is ultimately kicked away by Lynn English. Knocked loose by Koya Nicoli. Fitzgerald sends it forward, just barely blocked, and another hard collision. The officials letting him play here in the postseason as Ben Speicher knocks that ball loose, recovered by Nate Lockwood. Passed around to Goldberg and Speicher and back to Lockwood. Now sends it back to Jonah Littman, number 25. Now back to Lockwood. Lockwood trying to dribble through the middle, runs out of room there, taken away by Liccardi. Liccardi gets a pass out to EAC. EAC sends one forward, and it's just out of reach for number 9, Einar Angel. Kicked up by Applebaum, corralled by number 8, Jamel David. As I think it was actually Einar Angel who just missed out on the header opportunity on the corner kick a few minutes ago. My mistake. Throw in along the far side, sent forward, a crosser into the box, headed away by Applebaum. Applebaum's been busy on defense here in the opening minutes as Lynn English takes control. Pass goes all the way back to Zayas back in the goal box, takes it from co-captain Darwin Flores, number 5, now given out to another co-captain, Abdul Rahman. Now an attempted pass blocked and taken away now by Goldberg. Pass it out to Lawrence. Lawrence trying to find some room. Does keep control and pass it back to Speicher. Speicher sends it too far up the line. Lawrence wasn't ready for that leading kick, and it's going to go out of bounds and be a goal kick. They're quick with the goal kick as it's booted up field, stopped by Lockwood. Lockwood tries to kick it forward, intercepted by Liccardi. Lockwood staying with the play, knocks it loose, recovered by Fitzgerald. His pass blocked. Lockwood trying to stay with it, but it's recovered by Liccardi. Liccardi taps to the outside, dribbling with it now, I believe is number 14, Alfredo Lopez. Knocked, I was trying to check my rosters to kind of miss what happened, but I think they called a foul on Brookline. It's going to be a free kick for Lynn English. And they're going to send Abdul Rahman to take this kick. This one flies in, headed down the near side, chased down by EAC and lost out of bounds. Going to be a throw-in now, I believe, for Lynn English. Throw-in is booted away by the Brookline defense and knocked forward by David. Gets up to number 17, Eric Zepeda. Zepeda battling along the near side, and again, very physical play, and the refs are just letting him play both ways as Lawrence boots one across the field for Jacob Friedman. Friedman battling with Lopez, and Lopez does take it away. Friedman staying with it, hard slide tackle, and they say he got ball first. It's a physical battle here in the preliminary round as Brookline now takes control. Pass given to Lawrence. Lawrence fakes now, sends one up the line, gets it up to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald battling, tries to cut back. Physical fight, he's staying with the ball, gets tripped up. They say ball first, and the attempted clear is knocked out of bounds. Lynn English ball. And I gotta say, it is so nice to see Jack Fitzgerald out there on the field for Brookline. He suffered an injury earlier this season. Looked like he might have been out for the rest of the year, but he is back out there, the senior co-captain, playing with his team in the last postseason run of his high school career. As Brookline draws a foul call there, Lockwood got tripped up. And now we're going to get a free kick chance for Brookline. Might be a good distance for a shot here as Ryan Goldberg lines up, flanked by Ben Speicher, who fakes. Goldberg kicks one down inside the box and cleared out. Applebaum kicks it back forward. Fighting for it, it's corralled by the Bulldogs. Pass goes across to number 18. He sends a through pass blocked by Speicher. Big defensive stop there as that pass from Pierre looked like it might have gone through, but Ben Speicher would not allow it. Goldberg kicks one up for Ames. Ames gets the edge around David into the box. Crosser knocked away by the Bulldogs defense. A huge chance for Brookline, just not able to make it happen. Liccardi dribbling with it. Sends a pass, cut off by Lippman. Lippman, pass up for Friedman. Friedman kicks one across, nobody there, cut off by Iacy. Pass across and around. Now over to number 17, Zepeda. Zepeda's pass blocked by Lawrence and intercepted, but Zepeda stays with the play to knock it loose. But Koya Nicoli also stays with the play. Gets a pass over to Ames. Ames back to Nicoli. Nicoli turns around, opts to go back to Lawrence. Lawrence lifts one towards the box, headed away by the defense of, I think, Flores. He gets that up to Angel. Angel pass forward looking for Pierre. Pierre cuts back. Pierre's got some room. Pierre ripped away by Lippman, and he clears it out. Recovered now by Liccardi. Liccardi dribbling. Couldn't stay with it. Taken away by Lockwood. Lockwood gets tripped. No score so far. We got a Brookline soccer alum in the live chat, Eamon Bochelle, saying, "Let's go, lads." As this pass goes up, big chance. Grady Ames charging into the box. Crosser blocked and out of bounds. It'll be a corner for Brookline. So Brookline will have their first corner of the day. Looks like it's going to be number 12, Ryan Goldberg. Goldberg signals. There's the kick flying in, and it's caught by Zayas. Zayas punts it. Bouncing along. And it goes out of bounds. Brookline ball. Good boxing out by Speicher. Ten and a half minutes into this contest. No score as of yet between Brookline and Lynn English. Lippman opts to send it back to Alex Magula, who gives it over to Travis Applebaum and back to Speicher on the wing. To the middle now to Lockwood. Lockwood sends it up for Goldberg. Goldberg passes forward to Fitzgerald, gives back, misses. Goldberg, and just out of reach for Nicoli, knocked away by Zepeda. Gives it up to Iacy. Iacy sends it forward, goes off the foot of Angel. Knocked away by Speicher. Speicher tries to kick, blocked, fought for, and gets it up to Lawrence. Lawrence dribbling towards the middle, sends a pass up for Ames. Ames cutting around, tries a pass, blocked. Ames tried to stay with the play, but it's deflected. And now Ames still staying with it. He knocks it loose and gets it up to Friedman. Friedman looking around, kicks one forward. Ooh, hard hit from behind by Fitzgerald. Going to be called for the foul that time. And you can tell Jack Fitzgerald does not care that he's coming back from a tough injury. He is going to play his game, and his game is physical. We saw him taking some hits earlier and now giving out some hits on that one as he's going to be called for the foul, and Lynn English will get the free kick. Abdul Rahman kicks this one. Goes off the head of Friedman. And Lippman boots it away. Going to fly out of bounds. And it'll be Bulldogs ball as some subs checking in on both sides. For Brookline, I think we've got some alternate jersey numbers here as we've got an interception by Nate Lockwood. Pass back to Friedman along the wing, goes up to Lockwood towards the middle. Dribbling around Goldberg. Goldberg sends one up for, I believe that's Danmarth Dorvilliers, as it's taken back by the Bulldogs. They booted upfield, headed down, but pushed forward now by number 10, Matthew Coelho. Coelho's kick intercepted by Littman. Littman dribbling up with it. Littman passes to the outside Friedman. Friedman's kick deflected, headed forward by Littman. And now corralled by Nicoli. Nicoli's pass blocked, but he recovers and gets it out to Lawrence. Lawrence, long kick towards the box, swooping in. Oh, just missed by Ames. The junior teammates almost had the perfect long-range connection there. But nothing doing, just out of reach. So yeah, it looks like Danmarth Dorvilliers, the freshman who normally wears number 10 for Brookline, is wearing number 23 today. So I'll just keep track of that. Pass to the middle, just barely pushed forward by number 26, Frederick Schreiber-Wachnick. Now a couple quick passes, Dorvilliers trying to race after it, but cut off by Abdul Rahman. Pass to the outside now. They try and work it up the wing, intercepted by Goldberg. Goldberg, pass, outside Lawrence. Oops, we had a whistle blown. I think they called a foul on Lynn English, and so Goldberg is actually going to line up for a free kick here. Speicher fakes, Goldberg kicks, flies in, kick missed wide. Another near miss for Brookline, as I think that one wound up right at the foot of Jonah Littman. Went just wide there. We got another Brookline High soccer alum, Gabriel Spaggett, in the live chat saying Fitz hat trick, calling a shot for Jack Fitzgerald. We'll see what happens, you know. As this one intercepted by Jacob Friedman, passed up to Ames, sends one through. Friedman dribbling in, tripped up, and they say ball first. As Abdul Rahman dribbling it, taken away by Ames. Ames kicks it across the field, blocked down right towards Schreiber-Wachnick. He tried to tap it across, but it's intercepted. Now deflected back to Lockwood, passes out to Lawrence. Lawrence dribbles, pass, Goldberg. Goldberg trying to fit through a tight window, couldn't, but it's recovered by Lawrence. Now deflected back to Speicher, back up to Lawrence, disrupted by EAC, and it goes up to Liccardi. Liccardi's pass gets up to number 7, Henry Adeko. Adeko passes back to Liccardi. Liccardi now over to number 10, Coelho. Coelho over to David. David's kick out to the far side to, I believe, Pierre, blocked out of bounds by Littman. I believe it's going to be Bulldogs ball. And it looks like we've actually got a timeout called here in the first half. No score between Brookline and Lynn English, with currently 23 minutes and 8 seconds on the clock, according to the scoreboard. So I thank you all once again for tuning in today. Remember, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And we've seen a couple notes in the live chat already. I highly encourage those, for both some of the more fun reasons that people have exemplified already. Simply cheering on your favorite team and your favorite players. But also for potentially more important reasons. If you notice any issues with the audio or video, I encourage you to speak up and say something. You never know, it might be something I don't notice on my end, and it might be something that is an easy fix. Coming out of the timeout now. And it's going to be a throw-in for Lynn English. They aim it at Adeko, knocked out of bounds by Friedman. It'll stay Bulldogs ball. And now a crosser flying in, but well wide, out of bounds, goal kick, Brookline. Smagula gives to Applebaum, now over to Speicher. Speicher finds Schreiber-Wachnick, sends it up Dorvilliers. Dorvilliers over to Lawrence, and Lawrence couldn't quite corral the high bouncing ball, goes out of bounds. Lynn English ball. Throw into EAC, pass back, headed down by Schreiber-Wachnick, and Dorvilliers gets pass across to Goldberg. Goldberg goes out far side to Friedman. Friedman dribbling against Lopez, now takes off upfield, pass towards the middle, knocked away but recovered by Goldberg. Goldberg trying to keep the ball, trying to pass back, knocked away by Abdulrahman. Abdulrahman now gives it over to Pierre. Pierre battling down the far sideline against Lockwood, trying to gain the edge as Lippman comes in to help, as that one knocked out of bounds. And it'll be a throw-in for Lynn English. Lopez to throw it in. Goes to Coelho. Coelho battling, rolls out the back line and off the Brookline defense. It's going to be a corner for the Bulldogs. No, it's going to be a goal kick for Brookline. Brief confusion over who touched it last, but they say Lynn English touched it last, and so it'll be a Brookline goal kick. Smagula simply gives it over to Applebaum, who gives it out near side to Speicher. Speicher up the middle to Goldberg, taps it, knocked away by EAC towards the middle. David fakes the kick to keep control and prevent the block. Dribbling through the middle, pass for Liccardi, disrupted hard by Ames, and Brookline takes it away. David, a hard slide tackle to take it back, and then Lockwood knocks it back, and now they're going to call the foul as David took Lockwood's feet out from under him. It's been a very physical game, and for the most part, the officials have been letting it go on both sides. This is playoff soccer. Goldberg takes the free kick. Knocked back by the Bulldogs' defense. Goes up to Adeko. Adeko dribbling up the near side. Boxed out by Speicher, and it rolls out of bounds. Some subs checking in. For Brookline, I believe number 16, Jad Torres, coming into the game, replacing Jacob Friedman. For Lynn English, I think Einor Angel coming back into the game, replacing Henry Adeko. Throw-in goes to Goldberg. Goldberg passes back to Speicher. Speicher lifts one across midfield, knocked away there by Zepeda. Gonna bounce out of bounds, Brookline ball. Lawrence throws it upfield, finds Goldberg. Goldberg taps it forward for Torres. Torres trying to gain the edge against his defender. Battling. Bit hard for me to see as it's knocked out of bounds. Is that going to draw a corner kick? Oops, sorry. Corner kick flies in. Bouncing down. Corralled briefly by Brookline. Lockwood trying to push through. Everybody can't do it. But staying with the play, Schreiber-Wachnick tries a crosser, and it is ultimately cleared out by the Bulldogs. Speicher knocks that one away, but it's knocked back the other way by Pierre. And now it is corralled by Iaci. Pass back to Liccardi. Now Iaci boots this one across the field. Pierre. And they're going to call the foul on Dorvilliers for getting just a little too grabby there. And it's going to be a free kick now for Lynn English. Jose Liccardi. With 16:45 on the clock here in the first half, it's not going to be Liccardi. Looks like it's going to be Einor Angel. Sends the kick way over the crossbar, out of bounds, goal kick. Goes out to the near side to Speicher. Speicher up the line to Nicoli. Nicoli looking. Pass up, finds Lawrence. Lawrence fakes, gets tripped up hard by David. No call. Zepeda up to Liccardi. Liccardi up to Pierre. And lost out of bounds, Brookline ball. Quick throw in to Lockwood. Lockwood opts to send it back to Littman. Now back to Lockwood. Lockwood now goes back to Applebaum. Applebaum over to Speicher. Speicher up to Lawrence. Lawrence towards the middle, knocked away by Liccardi. And now a little too much traffic there as Lynn English loses control of it. Lawrence actually did a bit of a Looney Tunes play there, making a couple of Bulldogs players run into each other. Off the deflection, it's Nicoli with the ball. Nicoli fighting for it. It's knocked out of bounds. Bouncing along, it's Goldberg sending it back to Applebaum. Applebaum sends it up. Schreiber-Wachnick. Pass intercepted by Zepeda. Zepeda dribbling around a couple of players. Kicks it away, gets it to Coelho. Coelho back to Zepeda. Collides with Iaci as Speicher takes it away, dribbles up with it. Speicher's pass blocked and intercepted by Liccardi. Liccardi turns around. Pass back. Iaci Pass up, intercepted Speicher. Speicher. It's knocked out of bounds, last touched by Lynn English. Lawrence throws it in, deflected, but does get to Lockwood. Lockwood, pass back, Littman up to Dorvilliers. Dorvilliers tries a big kick, but it's blocked. And off ahead, it's a scrum for the ball, and it's controlled by Angel. Lost control, and out of the scrum, it bounces right to Lockwood, who sends it back to Littman. Now up to Nicoli. Nicoli's pass ricochets, but Nicoli takes it back for himself. Now gives it to Dorvilliers, now back to Nicoli. Swings it across to Speicher. Speicher walking up with it. Speicher tries a kick himself, and it's taken off a hop by Zayas. Just out of reach for Fitzgerald, who is cutting to the box for that one. Zayas punts it. It's going to bounce out of bounds. Throw in to Lockwood. Pass up. Knocked away. Recovered by Dorvilliers. Sends it back to Littman across to Applebaum. Applebaum over to Speicher. Speicher to the middle for Schreiber-Wachnick. Schreiber-Wachnick gives it over to Dorvilliers, who sends it back to Littman. Littman gives it over to Schreiber-Wachnick. His pass blocked, goes right to Angel. Pass back to Liccardi. Liccardi jukes, gets cross midfield, pass blocked. Taken away by Brookline, but Coelho fighting for it. Lockwood keeps it. Pass to Schreiber-Wachnick up to Torres. Scrum for it. Coelho comes away with it. Coelho hit hard from behind by Torres, and that's going to be a foul call. .5 minutes on the clock here in the first half. No score in this preliminary round contest between Brookline and Lynn English. Liccardi lining up for the free kick for the Bulldogs. Lifts it into the box, and off a hop, it's taken by Smagula. Smagula gives it to Dorvilliers. Dorvilliers dribbling, fakes the kick, now kicks it up to Torres. Torres fights through one defender, but Zepeda's there to kick that one away. Deflects back to Speicher. Speicher, pass intercepted by Iasi. Gives it over now to Coelho, up to Iasi. Now knocked away by Applebaum, up to Torres. Torres jukes one defender who stays with it. Hard collision between two defenders. No call, as Brookline fans not happy about that. And we got a whistle now. Was it just a stoppage to make sure Torres was okay, or the officials talking with Fitzgerald? Okay, looks like they did ultimately give the foul call on that one. A bit delayed, but they did call it. And I think that was the right call. Even if the initial, even if the first defender got ball first, the second one just came in and body checked him. So now a free kick from Speicher, flying towards the net, and wasn't going to make it to the net, but they called offsides against Brookline anyhow. Just over 9 minutes to go here in the first half. No score. Up the far side it goes. Pass from Lopez goes up to Pierre. Pierre. Pass to Lopez. Lopez battling. Oh my goodness. Another hard hit from Fitzgerald, and he's got to be careful. I know he's a physical player, and I know it's the playoffs, but there's only so many of those kind of hits that officials will watch before they pull out a card. This kick flies into the box, finds Pierre. Pierre tangled up with Lippman. Turns around, tries a kick blocked by Lippman. That's going to go out of bounds and draw a corner kick for the Bulldogs. Multiple subs coming in on both sides. Among the subs for Lynn English, number 7, Henry Adeko, back into the game. And he sets up in the box with some of his teammates for the incoming corner. Liccardi sends it in. Bouncing along, Fitzgerald tries to clear it, and that's going to roll out the back line, and that's going to draw a corner from the near side this time. This one flies too far, and it's cleared out. But the clearing kick kind of sliced, and it's going to go out of bounds. Bulldogs ball. And it's taken back by Coelho. Coelho pass back. David kicks it towards the box. Booted away now by Lawrence. Bounces up towards Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald stopped by Abdul Rahman. And now it's recovered by Adeko, knocked loose by Nicoli. Ames pass, mistimed with Fitzgerald, rolls out of bounds. Lynn English ball. Throw in. And they're just going to let that one bounce out of bounds. Brookline ball. Substitution checking in for Brookline, number 15, Santi Sierra, replacing Koya Nicoli, as the throw-in goes now to Lippman. Up to Lockwood and back to Applebaum. Applebaum boots this one upfield. Ames couldn't quite corral it. Abdul Rahman takes it away, passes out to Lopez. Lopez winds up, kicks this one forward. Taken by Coelho. Coelho knocked away by Applebaum, and Goldberg passed it up for Friedman, who gets leveled. And that's going to be a card for Lopez. And you can understand that even if it was just going for the ball, that contact was so hard and dangerous that you kind of have to assess it as a more severe penalty regardless of intent. I mean, Friedman went tumbling after that hit, and it didn't even, look like one of those instances where a player might tumble extra times to try and sell something. I don't think Friedman had to sell that hit at all. So a yellow card assessed to number 14, Alfredo Lopez. Free kick ultimately corralled by Brookline. Lawrence taps it back to Speicher, back up to Lawrence. Knocked loose by Adeko and recovered by Coelho. Pass up to Adeko. Cut off, and Applebaum kicks it away. Lawrence couldn't keep it in bounds, and it'll be Lynn English ball. Four and a half to go here in the first half as we get another sub checking in for Lynn English. Number 15, Jean Gibran Yasi, back into the game. Throw in, knocked down by Speicher, tapped forward by Lawrence. Headed back by David, but kicked Forward again by Goldberg. And I think that one bounces out of bounds. It'll be Bulldogs ball again. They tried to throw it in from a little too far upfield compared to where it went out. Throw in, blocked by the head of Lawrence. Now another head, and it goes out of bounds, last touched by the Bulldogs. This throw-in flies towards the box, headed away by the defense. And now a battle on the far side. Pierre trying to take control. Kick blocked by Friedman, but they're going to say touched hand. So a free kick for the Bulldogs here. Less than 3 minutes to go here in the first half. No score as of yet. Liccardi pass to the outside. Kicked up the line, blocked by Lockwood. Now pass to EAC, sends it up for Pierre. Pierre stops, trying to keep control of it, trying to set up for a potential crosser. Littman covering him tight, Friedman in to help. It's knocked out of bounds, and it'll be a Lynn English corner kick. Corner kick flies in. Oh, it goes out of bounds off the hands of Smagula as he couldn't quite wrap that one up. And so it's going to be another back-to-back corner kick for the Bulldogs here, as now our scoreboard clock is frozen at 2 minutes to represent stoppage time. No way to tell exactly how much time is left as this one flies in, headed down, just wide of the net. That was a huge chance for Lynn English, maybe the best chance from either team so far, as that header bounced just wide. Smagula gives it to Littman. Littman up the line, Friedman. Friedman sends it through to Sierra. Sierra taps it back, and EAC knocks it loose, but it's recovered by Lockwood. Or no, by Goldberg, excuse me. Goldberg pass out to Lawrence. Lawrence manages to keep control of it despite the high bounce, and passes back to Littman. Cross to Applebaum, over to Speicher. Speicher, pass up Goldberg. Goldberg couldn't keep his dribble. It's kicked away, blocked by Speicher, and now Goldberg takes it away. Goes back to Applebaum, who sends it up to Lockwood. Back to Littman. And this pass deflected, but Lockwood takes it. Another pass deflected, but it's taken now by Lawrence. Lawrence sends it out near side for Ames. Ames blocked there by, I think, Adeko. Again, a bit hard to see when it gets to the near sidelines. And there is the double whistle for halftime. Our score at half, 0-0. No goals from either side as of yet between Brookline and Lynn English. And surprisingly, it was really the 40th seeded Bulldogs that had the closest chance to score in that first half, so Brookline has got to be careful, and they've got to find a way to generate some better chances in the second half. As we move into halftime, be sure to check out the description section of this video. You can find a link to the official Venmo account of the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club, which supports all 6 Brookline High soccer teams, boys and girls, varsity, JV, and freshmen. And you can also find some links to our local charity spotlight, that being Brookline Cares. Brookline Cares is a volunteer organization run by BHS students which seeks to raise awareness and funds to help people experiencing homelessness. Brookline Cares works closely with an organization called the Empowerment Plan. The Empowerment Plan hires and trains those experiencing homelessness to manufacture their special type of coat, known as the Empower Coat, which can double as a sleeping bag. The coats helped keep those struggling with homelessness warm during the colder months, while the jobs manufacturing those coats can help break the cycle of homelessness through gainful employment. Over the past 3 years, Brookline Cares has purchased and distributed over 200 Empower Coats and 1,000 pairs of Bombas socks to local community organizations and emergency departments that care for the homeless, and you can help them bring more warmth to those in need. Down in the description section of this video, you can find a link on the website classy.org where you can donate money to the Brookline Cares team, supporting their efforts to purchase more Empower Coats. Or if you're a student interested in joining the club, you can find another link in the description, this time to the organization's website on wixsite.com, where you can find more information about the group and how you can contact them. Once again, check out those links in the description section below and help spread the warmth with Brookline Cares. Few more notes in the live chat. Some from some familiar names from previous seasons. Henry Ames giving a shout out to the young baller and his younger brother Grady Ames. And Jason Rabat and Liam Alcalay giving a shout out to Jack Fitzgerald. So happy to see you guys tuning in, boys. Hope the post-high school life has been treating you guys well. And Gabriel Spaggett asking, what are my thoughts on the game thus far? And, well, so far, it felt like for most of that first half that Brookline was in control of the possession game, but towards the end, Lynn English was able to generate what I think was the closest scoring opportunity of the half. And I mean, you guys all know from your days playing for the Warriors, you know, even if you're controlling the possession game in a lower scoring sport like soccer, especially come playoff time, you know, you can't get comfortable. No matter how much you might be in control of the possession game, you can't get comfortable because a counterattack can happen at any time. And so I think Brookline's got to do a better job of generating some higher quality chances. They were generating some long passes. If they could manage to get some, you know, passes through traffic, get some through passes going to generate some more open looks, I think that could help them. And also maybe not keep generating those back-to-back corner kicks. You know, get a little better at defending those corners so that they don't turn into second consecutive corners. We saw that a few times. Those are some of my thoughts on the first half. Now I'm going to take a break and mute the mic, but I'll be back with the second half. Stay tuned. Hello again, back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live from Parsons Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second half of this MIAA Division I Boys Soccer State Tournament preliminary round contest between the 25th seeded Brookline High Warriors and the 40th seeded Lynn English High Bulldogs. No score through the first 40 minutes. And the way this game has been going, you know, it might just take that one fortunate bounce to send either team on to the round of 32, where 8th seeded St. John's will be waiting. So fans, who do you think it's going to be that could finally get that one fortunate bounce, that one good shot to break this game open? Let me know in the live chat. I'll read along as I can during breaks in the action. Brookline going to get us started as the two teams switch sides here for the second half. Jack Fitzgerald at midfield, getting ready to get us started. Fitzgerald, who is one of the main players on defense for Brookline for most of the year, now playing a more offensive role here in the playoffs after coming back from injury. As off the opening kick, it's a scrum for the ball. And the attempted clear kick is deflected out of bounds off of Brookline. That one blocked by Grady Ames. It'll be a throw-in for Lynn English. Throw in, deflects out of bounds, this time off Jacob Friedman. Alfredo Lopez throws it in, deflects over to Fitzgerald, pass back to Ryan Goldberg, lifts it up to Wally Lawrence, who taps it back to Ben Speicher. Working through the middle, it's taken away by Coelho, pass up, cut off by Travis Applebaum. That pass from Matthew Coelho was intended for Jean Gibran Iacy. Taken back briefly by Lynn English. Jose Licardi was cut off by Fitzgerald, but Lopez kicks it and now gets tripped up hard by Fitzgerald, and that's going to draw a foul call. The official has some words with Fitzgerald. He's been called for a few fouls already today. And I said it in the first half, if he's not careful, he might end up getting the card. Lopez, of course, himself got assessed a yellow card in the first half. Now a free kick chance. Looks like it's going to come from Jose Licardi. This kick is going to fly in well wide of the net, and Smagula is just going to let it bounce out for a goal kick. This one being worked up the far side. Lawrence dribbling, kicks it upfield, misses Grady Ames, and it's kicked away by Lopez. Tracked down by Jonah Lippman. Pass up to Nate Lockwood. Lockwood working it upfield. Pass blocked by Lopez. And now knocked up to Friedman from Ames. Friedman trying to gain the edge down the near side. Pushed over. No call. They're letting him play out deep in Lynn English territory. And now they call a foul on Brookline. tough call there. A lot of physical play, and ultimately they call against Brookline. But, you know, I think when it gets that deep into the box, I think the officials are going to be a little more hesitant to blow a whistle, because if it's going to be a foul that draws a PK chance from inside the box, it's got to be pretty clear evidence of a foul if it's going to be that consequential. Sort of similar to how umps in baseball are less likely to call a ball if a batter has 3 balls, or less likely to call a strike if a batter already has 2 strikes and it's a borderline pitch. Officials just lean away from the more consequential calls because they don't want to impact the game that much. Pierre sends a through pass, finds his target, but he couldn't get a foot on it. Coelho had a golden opportunity there, but could not get a strong kickoff. Now Brookline kind of got away with a handball there as Nicoli passes this one up to Fitzgerald. Now Fitzgerald breaking through and blocked at the last by Darwin Flores. Brookline sets up for a corner kick here. Ryan Goldberg setting up to kick this one from the far side corner. Still no score as of yet. Kick flies in, deflects down, and is cleared out. Ainor Angel clears that one out, and Jean Gibran, EAC could not chase that one down. Boxed out by Travis Applebaum, and it'll be a Brookline throw-in. Lawrence throws it in, tapped back for Lawrence, missed it, out of bounds. Quick throw-in, goes up the line for Woodson Pierre. He loses control, out of bounds. No, they say last touched by Brookline. Lopez throws it in for Angel, taps it back for Pierre. Knocked loose by Littman, cleared out by Applebaum. Goes right to Lopez, though. Lopez, taken away by Coelho. Couple quick passes, goes back to Liccardi, lifts it up in the air, headed away by Speicher, but right back to Lopez. Now knocked away off the ricochet by Littman, goes up to Ames. Ames, long pass up, finds Fitzgerald, taps it back, Nicoli. Nicoli, pass up, Ames. Ames got some space to work here. Winds and kicks, and it's blocked by Flores. Stays in play, though. Ames now sends in a crosser, caught by Alejandro Zayas. Zayas punts this one off the head of Speicher, now downed by Applebaum. Speicher kicks it blocked, but recovered by Lockwood. Lockwood over to Friedman, lifts it up, kicked away by David. Recovered by Goldberg, pass outside for Lawrence. Lawrence up the far side, cuts in, tries to cut around, but it's taken away by Jamel David. David's pass to Liccardi, now back to EAC, further back. Pass now goes up to David. David swings it across to Lopez. Lopez sends it up to Pierre. Pierre, crosser towards the middle, knocked away by Lockwood. Gets it back to Littman. Littman to Applebaum. Applebaum out to Speicher. Speicher up to Nicoli, taps it out. Lawrence does keep it in, but it goes right to David. David's pass goes through to Coelho. Coelho battling through a couple defenders and now taking off with it. Coelho charging into the box, giving chases Goldberg, knocks it loose, knocks it out of bounds, and I do believe that's going to be a corner kick. Or no, Goldberg got the favorable deflection. So big defensive play by Ryan Goldberg there. to not only stop the rush, but give his team a goal kick to try and work it the other way. Smigula sends it flying up the middle. Deflects down, corralled by David. David's kick taken by Lockwood. Pass out to Friedman. Friedman stopped by Lopez. And it's taken by Liccardi, passed up to Pierre, now up to Angel, out to Lopez. High bouncing Lopez battling with Lippman for it. Recovered by Angel, pass back Pierre. Pierre dribbling, looking, pass across. And it's knocked loose, recovered by EAC, tries a pass and can't get it through, and hard pull by EAC is going to draw the foul call as he pulled on the jersey of Koya Nicolian. He's going to get assessed a yellow card. Second yellow card of the day for the Bulldogs, as Brookline will get the free kick. We've got a Lynn English player down, but back on his feet, I believe, is Coelho. Free kick, flies upfield, knocked away, out of bounds by Flores. Throw-in goes back to Lockwood, gives it over to Ames. Ames across the middle, lifts one, deflected down and kicked away by Zepeda. Goes up to Adeko, but taken back by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald hit from behind by Adeko, and that's going to be a free kick for Brookline. 30.5 minutes to go here. Still no score between Brookline and Lynn English as Brookline lines up for a free kick. Here comes the kick from Goldberg. Pushed away, but still in the box. And oh, they call a foul on Brookline. Two players went head first towards the ball. One got ball, and one got the player that got the ball. And it was the Lynn English player that got ball, and so Brookline is called for the foul. Free kick lifted up to Pierre. Now taken away by Friedman, and they call a foul. Or no, they call it out of bounds off Friedman, so a throw-in. Bit hard to tell exactly where the sideline is with the lip of the bleachers kind of covering it there. Still Lynn English ball, another throw-in. Lopez throws in, tap back. And Lynn English ran out of room along the sideline. Brookline throw-in. Lifted up by Lippman. Taken now by David. Pass up for Adeko. Cut off by Speicher. Gets it up to Lawrence. Lawrence walking up with it up the far side, trying to pick up speed and gain the edge. Lawrence breaking through. Lawrence pass across, sliding deflection away by Flores as Lawrence was looking for Fitzgerald on that play. So it'll be a throw-in instead for Brookline. Into the box it flies, and it's headed wide and out of bounds. Goal kick for Lynn English. Boy, that was a great break up the sidelines by the speedy Wally Lawrence. He had a limited angle he would have been able to shoot from, which is why he tried to go for a pass. But Darwin Flores able to slide in and knock that one away from a cutting Jack Fitzgerald. This one lifted up high. Gets to Pierre. Cut off by Friedman. Friedman gets tripped up by Pierre and draws the foul. Free kick for Brookline from inside their own end, and Lippman's just going to give it back to Applebaum, who swings it across to Speicher. Now up to Goldberg. Brookline moving this one up slow as it's given to Lawrence and back to Speicher. Speicher back up to Lawrence, tries a give and go, knocked away. Taken by the Bulldogs. The pass goes back to Liccardi. Nicoli almost knocked it loose, but Liccardi stays with it. Dribbling against several players pressuring him. Sends it back, and it's lifted up in the air by Abdul Rahman. Now after a couple deflections, Lopez taking off with speed, stopped by Lippman. And a run out of room, out of bounds, Lynn English ball. Lopez throws it in, blocked out of bounds by Friedman. This throw in, Pierre trying to turn away from the defenders. Bit hard for me to see. And it's going to be, I believe, out of bounds Brookline ball. Checking in for Brookline now, number 14, Jeffrey Dong replaces Koya Nicoli. It was actually a free kick for Brookline there. Couple deflections, it's controlled now by Goldberg. Passes over to Lockwood, goes to Friedman. Friedman knocked out of bounds by Liccardi. It'll be Brookline ball. Friedman, quick throw in. Grady Ames trying to break for it, but Flores stopping him and cutting him off and knocking it out the side to prevent the corner kick. Throw in. Corralled by Liccardi. Pass up to Coelho, who gets it up to Adeco. Now out to Pierre. Up the line. EAC passes back to Pierre. Pierre lost his footing, and the gift received by Dorvilliers, who passes it up to Ames, who gives it back to Friedman. Friedman lifts it, downed by Zepeda, but swooping in for it was Lawrence. Lawrence gets tripped up. No whistle there. And now Lynn English tried to pass it up, but no one to send it to. I can understand you see a guy get tripped up and go flying like that. I think what I imagine the officials called there is that Lawrence, being the one who kind of ran into that area, initiated the contact, which is why they probably did not call a foul in that scenario. As Coelho now dribbling. Pass over to Pierre, blocked by Lippman, and that's going to go out of bounds and be Brookline ball. Throw in goes to Friedman, taps it back, lifted up by Lippman, and Ames trying to make a break for it, but Flores Flores knocks it out of bounds. Throw in, picked up by Zayas. Zayas punts it. And it's taken and knocked loose by Dong, recovered by Lockwood. Pass back Applebaum over to Lippman. Lippman lifts this one. Goes off the head of Flores. Over to Zepeda. Zepeda. Pass up. And Coelho couldn't corral it. Too many blue jerseys in there. Dong tries a kick blocked by Lopez. David sends it up to Pierre. Pierre knocked loose, but Pierre stays with it. Pierre pass to the middle, intercepted by Goldberg. Pass back to Lippman. Now over to Dong. Dong sends it up, blocked by Lopez. Poked loose by Friedman, and players go tumbling there, as I think they're going to call a foul on Dong for running over Lopez there. Free kick for the Bulldogs. Just under 22 minutes to go here in this one. Still no score between Brookline and Lynn English. This one lifted into the box. Off the deflection, it is corralled by Pierre. Pierre looking around. Covered tight once again, and the ball is taken away by Lockwood. Lockwood lifts it up, deflects. Back to Lopez. Lopez's pass blocked by Friedman out of bounds. Some subs checking in now. Lopez throws it into a Deco. Knocked out of bounds, stays Lynn English ball. Throw in here. And Yacy gets passed to the outside. And I think it got knocked out of bounds again. Bit hard for me to see in the corner there. Looks like they're getting ready for a throw-in. Deflects through it. Deco sends one back. Long kick coming in. And it misses wide. Goal kick coming up for Brookline, as now checking in for Brookline, number 16, Jad Torres, replaces Jacob Friedman. Give it out far side to Speicher. Speicher kicks it, bouncing along. It's taken by Lawrence. Pass to Dorvilliers. Dorvilliers sends one forward for Ames. Ames, a shot saved by Zayas. Open chance header. Scores! Jad Torres! Staying with the play and putting it in the back of the net. Great ball movement to get it upfield. The shot from Ames was saved, but Jad Torres hovering around in front of the net right there to head that one in, and Brookline is on the board first. Jad Torres off the assist from Grady Ames for the first goal of this ball game. And now the fabric of things changes completely, as now Brookline has the advantage. We're a little over halfway through the second half here, and now we've got a team in the lead as that offsides was called against Lynn English there. Free kick now for Brookline. This one kicked upfield. And while I know secondary assists aren't really a thing that much in soccer, let's give some credit to some great passing from Wally Lawrence and Danmarth Dorvilliers to set up that initial chance as that one gets knocked out of bounds. Because they really got that play started. Dorvilliers, a brilliant leading pass to set up Ames with an open look at the net. And then Torres, great hustle on the putback header. This one cleared out by Flores. Now pushing it up fields. They get it to Angel. Angel can't get through Littman. Littman takes it back and takes it the other way. Jonah Littman still going with it. Jonah Littman tripped up, and they say it was clean as they're battling down the near side. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be a Brookline throw-in. Now checking in for Brookline, number 26, Frederick Schreiber-Wachnick, replacing Ryan Goldberg. Throw in, flies into the box, deflects down, and they whiff on the clear kick, but they do get a pass out, and they do get it out of the box. Liccardi now with the ball. Gives it over to David, now intercepted by, I think, Schreiber-Wachnick. Gives it over to Dong and back to Speicher. Try and work it up the line, but blocked away. Now taking off with it. Cut off by Applebaum as he stops the rush from, I think, number 6, as a hard body check there is ruled legal as Liccardi takes it away. Liccardi dribbling, too much traffic knocked loose, and it's knocked away now by Lockwood, and I think they called the foul for the trip there against Lynn English. Hats off to Frederick Schreiber-Wachnick on that play. He did get body checked. It looked like a foul to me, but, you know, that's not my call to make. But you know what? Schreiber-Wachnick stayed with the play and was able to stop the advance by the Bulldogs there. That's good hustle. Free kick flies upfield. Down the far side. Zepeda kicks it up, knocked back. And now the loose ball recovered, I think, by Ames. Now passed up to Schreiber-Wachnick. Kicks it to the middle to Lawrence. Lawrence now taking off with it. Lawrence picking up speed. Lawrence gets around another one, tripped up, and they call it. "1-0 is the Brookline lead as of right now off the goal from Jad Torres, assisted by Grady Ames. 15 minutes to go in this one as Brookline hoping to add to their lead here with a free kick chance coming up. Wally Lawrence looks like he's lining up for this one, which suggests a high chance of a shot. We saw him score off a free kick in the Weymouth game. And this time it's blocked. Can't sneak it under the feet of the defensive wall as Speicher lifts that one in, and they call Dorvilliers offsides. Smart play by the defense to step up and cause the offsides there as this one intercepted by Littman. Taps it to the middle to Dong. Dong sends it back to Littman. Littman passes it away to Ames, and now back to Lockwood. Lockwood out to Dorvilliers. Dorvilliers with some space to work. He approaches. Dorvilliers cutting through. Dorvilliers' shot missed wide. Danmarth Dorvilliers almost snuck a goal in there As I don't think the defense quite expected him to try and dribble that one towards the middle himself. They might have been trying to cover for a pass, but his shot comes in wide on that one as a timeout is now called. $13:15 on the clock, or 13:13 now as the clock stopped for the timeout. One 0 is the Brookline lead. And the one who broke the scoreless tie open was number 16, Jad Torres, off the assist from number 17, Grady Ames. So we take a look again. It started with a great leading pass from Dorvilliers. The shot from Ames initially saved, and then just tantalizingly hanging up in the air like that. Came right down, right where Torres had spotted up for the putback header. So 13:13 is what currently shows on the clock here in the second half. Brookline now with a lead to try and hold on to. Remember, the winner of this game will go on to the round of 32 to face 8th-seeded St. John's. As the goal kick now flies in. Brookline heads it forward. Ames trying to charge in, disrupted just barely. And Lynn English barely able to clear it out. Brookline is getting some more openings since that goal, as Lynn English has to try and play a little more on offense to try and tie this one up. That's going to leave some openings in their defense that weren't there before. Throw in from Lawrence towards the box. Almost headed, but blocked by Abdul Rahman off the attempted header from Fitzgerald. Recovered now by Lockwood. Pass back Goldberg up to Friedman. Friedman manages to get it back to Goldberg. Goldberg swings it out to Lawrence on the far side. Lawrence battling, and they call the foul on Lawrence. Just under 12 minutes to go. Brookline trying to hold on to the 1-0 lead here. This one lifted up off the head of Schreiber-Wachnick, ultimately corralled by Speicher. Speicher kicks it up the line, finds Ames. Ames now sending it up for Lawrence. Slide tackle knocks it away. And they get the favorable deflection. It'll be Bulldogs' ball, as that one was knocked out, I think, by number 4, Eddie Romero. Unless I misread the jersey number there, which I might have, I'm not sure. Yeah, no, that was Eddie Romero. Throw in here, headed back by Lawrence. Corralled by Zepeda, but Ames applying pressure, knocks it loose. Gonna roll out of bounds, though, and it'll be Lynn English ball. Another throw-in, controlled by Brookline. That's Goldberg. Pass Outside Lawrence. Lawrence gets round one. Fires one. And saved by Zayas. Just barely got that one at his fingertips to keep it a one-score game as that's lost out of bounds. Brookline ball. 10 minutes to go now. Throw in goes off the head of Goldberg up to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald battling for it, and he does kick it upfield, but right to the waiting arms of Zayas. Zayas punts it off ahead. Bouncing upfield, kicked up in the air by Zepeda, headed forward by Friedman. Now knocked loose. Pierre trying to keep his balance, colliding hard with Friedman, and Pierre racing up with it, kicks one, flies a little too far. Going to be chased down on the far side by, I think, EAC. And it's knocked out of bounds. And it looks like it's going to be a corner kick for Lynn English. Corner kick flies in high. And oh, it just missed off the post. I think it might have been stopped by Spagula. And now a shot fired through, diving save. Oh, it's knocked in. Oh, they called offsides. They called offsides on Lynn English, no goal. Oh, a huge overturn there as Lynn English almost got the putback there after the initial save from Smagula to tie it up, but they call offsides and say no goal. Free kick flies up, headed forward by Pierre, but that's going to roll out of bounds and be Brookline ball. So almost a huge reversal of fortunes for Lynn English turns into an even bigger reversal for Brookline as they maintain the lead at 1-0. Ames dribbling up with it. Opts to dribble again, fires a long shot, and it's saved by Zayas. Punts this one. Flex off Abdul Rahman, who's playing up on offense now, and now Lopez hoops in and takes it. Lopez battling with Speicher, and Speicher knocks it away out of bounds. 7 minutes to go now. Throw in. Kick across field, intercepted by Friedman. Friedman collides with Darvin Kufor, but the loose ball recovered by Goldberg. Goldberg now gets it over to Lockwood. Lockwood dribbling, sends one forward, leading for Friedman. Friedman racing after it, and sliding in for it was Flores. Throw in for Brookline. Throw in is kicked away, out of bounds. Stays Brookline ball. This throw in headed down and disrupted. Fitzgerald pass for Friedman. Friedman slide tackle by Flores. And No foul call, but they do, I think, give Brookline the corner kick. You know, it's like I said, it's got to be such an obvious foul call if an official is going to award a PK chance to a team. As we got a sub checking in for Brookline. I think that's Ryan Goldberg back into the game, who's going to take the corner kick. Low line drive, and it's out of bounds goal kick. Zaya sends it out far side. Up the line it goes. And disrupted there by, I think, Lawrence. Speicher kicks it upfield. Finds Ames. Ames lifts one. Cut off by Flores. But intercepted by Ames. Gets it up to Friedman. Gives it back to Ames. Ames dribbling. Trying to cut around. Shot saved by Zayas. Great effort by Grady Ames to get the shot off, but well read by Zayas for the save. The scoreboard clock now frozen at 5 minutes to represent stoppage time. The only way we know how much time is on the clock is when the official blows 3 whistles to signal the end of the game. Friedman jukes around, lifts a leader. A kick is saved by Zayas, and I think they called offsides anyway. Zayas lifts the free kick. No one was quite ready for it on either side as Friedman kicks that one back. Corralled now by Ames. Ames weaving around, passes across to Lawrence. Lawrence lifts one, a leader for Josh Bittner, taps one forward, and Flores knocks it out of bounds. And I think that's going to be a corner kick for Brookline as they keep up the pressure even with the lead in stoppage time. They want to limit Lynn English's chance to 0 if they can try and get a big insurance score here. Goldberg lining up for the corner kick. Flies in, and it's knocked away by Zayas. A shot now. Oh, they called either a foul or an offsides or something again. I think they called a foul against Brookline there. Too physical in the box, and it'll be a free kick for Lynn English. Still a 1-score game as Lockwood takes that one. Pass intercepted now by Coelho. Pass up to Abdul Rahman. Abdul Rahman passes out for Lopez. Lopez on the near side. Gets a pass up to Licardi, lifts it towards the middle, disrupted by Goldberg, kicked up in the air and booted away by Lawrence. Goes back to EAC, kicks it upfield, bounces up for Pierre. Pierre knocked loose and out of bounds. And that's going to be a corner for Lynn English. They say last touched by Speicher. The Bulldogs trying to generate a chance to send this one into overtime. Licardi setting up to lift in this corner. Comes in, headed down, a chance. It's still in the box, and a whistle is blown. Violation on Lynn English. And it'll now be a free kick for Brookline. The Warriors trying to hold on here in the preliminary round. Romero sends it over to EAC, disrupted by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald off and running with it. Fitzgerald trying to break away. Fitzgerald, a shot just wide. Jack Fitzgerald almost put the nail in the coffin there. And he is a little slow to get up, which is a little concerning. He did suffer an injury late in the regular season, and they weren't sure if he would be able to come back. As this goal kick lifts it up, pass out, trying to lead for Abdul Rahman, but it's kicked away by Applebaum. Lynn English trying to rush to the throw-in. They know time is not on their side here as EAC throws it in, and there is your ball game. And Brookline will advance to the round of 32. The final score, Brookline 1, Lynn English 0. Lynn English gave it one heck of a fight as the 40th seed in what was a really close game. But ultimately, the win goes to Brookline. The lone goal from today's game scored by Jad Torres, assisted by Grady Ames. As we take one last look at the replay of the game's lone score, the rebound header by Torres proved the difference in this one. So the Brookline Warriors will advance, and they will have what I believe will be a rematch of the 2022 round of 32 against St. John's. Yes, against the St. John's Pioneers. That game will be played in St. John's, of course. I heard some saying that maybe that game might be on Tuesday. I'm not sure. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Of course, the Brookline High girls soccer team will be hosting a playoff game here at Parsons for their round of 32 contest. So we'll see how the schedule shakes out. You know, I hope I get a chance to cover the next round for this boys soccer team. If not, what a pleasure it's been. Another great year, you know, just to cover my bases. You know, hats off to the seniors, Jack Fitzgerald, Ben Speicher, Maury Shende Ruiz, Grady Ames, Josh Bittner, Aiden Kapusta, Nate Lockwood, Frederick Schreiber-Wachnick, Timur Tunkman, and Luca Campbell. For a team that made a great late season push to get here to the playoffs and has now produced the win here in the preliminary round. But I'm hopeful I'll be able to follow this team to the round of 32 against St. John's. We'll see how the schedule shakes out. But for now, it's a time of celebration for the Warriors as their season continues for at least one more game. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. If there's anything you'd like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of the video where you can find a link to the official Venmo account of the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club, which supports all 6 Brookline High soccer teams, boys and girls, varsity, JV, and freshmen. You can also find some links related to our local charity spotlight, Brookline Cares. And you can also find some links related to me, which you can also see on the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams and schools, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can see my email. You can email me directly with any questions, requests, or comments you may have. And don't forget to follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score, the 25th seeded Brookline High Warriors 1, the 40th seeded Lynn English Bulldogs 0. The Warriors move on to the round of 32. From Parsons Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.